am going to do a demo tonight, and I'm really excited to come to you guys, and I'm just going to demo a whole bunch of really great stuff. We are already done with our dinner, and we made in the multi-purpose steamer 2.5 chicken breasts and some barbecue sauce. I used our meat masher to mash up our chicken, and I am going to do a cooking class tonight, and I'm super excited to be here with all of you. Go ahead and comment below that you're here with me, and I'm going to give away a free meal solution packet I'll draw like after this. But just, I see there's a large number of you on already, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. What is Epicure though? One of the biggest things that really caught my eye when they announced that they were coming to the United States was the fact that they are clean. Clean ingredients. We have this never ever list, and what that means is that you will not have any preservatives and dyes in our foods. We don't have to read every label. Like, we were reading all these labels, and our shopping lists were always kind of crazy, and now they're not. So our shopping lists are right on our meal packets or in our recipes online using our jars, whichever meal solution or jar or recipe you're following. But I don't have to worry about the label because Epicure has clean ingredients. You'll also see in our catalog, posted the link to our catalog before. You'll see in our catalog that there is a code by each of the products, and you'll see these little color-coded options, and that is going to be, it's all 100% gluten-free, but you're also going to see it's a nut-free facility, non-GMO project, kosher, and so you can look through there. There's vegan, and most of our, I think there's only like maybe 10 products. Total guess, but it's not many. So if you're vegan or vegetarian, really, really great, easy solutions. 100% gluten-free. So if you don't need it, we don't need it in the food, then why have it? So for us, we don't have a gluten allergy, so we might still use regular normal pasta, but if you guys need to avoid it, it's super easy to avoid dairy, not using regular milk in our pudding, or cooking with regular milk for like the Temptation cupcakes, which are also egg-free. So hey, Jen, Larissa, I see you guys. I see that there's a bunch of you on. Could you all just say hi? I wonder if maybe I'm just not seeing comments. Says I can bring Jen and Larissa onto the camera with me. Surprise! I won't do that. All right, I got a thumbs up, thanks. All right, so I would love for you guys to ask questions as I go. I'm just going to showcase some of the things that I love to do, and I love to make, and I love to prep ahead of time. Oh, hey, Sarah, good to see you. One of them being our salsa. So literally, like, salsa couldn't get any easier than this. I use can of Petite, oh, this one's crushed, I didn't realize that. Petite diced tomatoes, and I personally like the Petite diced for our, I had to walk away because I do want to save that for something different, but I use our Petite diced tomatoes for our salsa, and my kids after school oftentimes will ask me if I'll make it for them, and they like their own personal like container. These are our our glass prep bowls. I'm seeing all of you on. I got thrown off. But I'm so glad to see you guys on, and you're making comments and I can see them now. So this is our prep bowl. This is our 1 cup prep bowl, and it has the measurements on the side. And so I use these because my kids love to make the single serving of the Poco Picante. And usually I don't always measure, but this can get spicy. So if you are really not wanting it to be too hot, temperature hot, then you'll just mix that in. And then I also grabbed a knife and a lime because I love our juicer. Everything right here. And I'm gonna put it upside down into the lime compartment. There's also a lemon one, if you had a lemon. And I'm gonna just squirt a little bit of that in there, and you get tons and tons of juice. And I'm gonna set that aside because I also have plans to make the guacamole. And I'm just gonna mix this up a little bit. And since I have this can of crushed tomatoes, I'm gonna add that too. And then I started to chop some onion. My kids do eat the salsa if I do a little bit of onion, so I try to add veggies when I can. I'm not a huge veggie person either, so I try to sneak them into my own food. I'm probably the pickiest one. You guys have heard that though. So I'm gonna throw some onion in there. You can throw some corn in your salsa. You can throw some black beans in your salsa. And they do eat this all the time after school. So what I'm gonna do is just put this in the fridge and let it sit, but normally we eat it immediately. So no extra added ingredients. I know exactly what's in this. It's all clean. I love that. It's super easy. I can just use what's in my pantry. What I'm also going to do is use our multi-purpose steamer to cook pasta. So I'm gonna take the tray out. I know some of you have seen me do this before, but I'm gonna take the tray out. The tray is really great if you wanna make bacon, rice. All right, no more than, if you're gonna do the mac and cheese, don't use any more than 2 cups of pasta. Because if you do more than 2 cups of pasta, then you're not gonna have super cheesy, yummy mac and cheese. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just still use my prep bowl, and I'm gonna add, so I did 2 cups of pasta, and I'm gonna do 4 cups of water. And then this is going to go into the microwave, and I'm going to multitask while it cooks. And this has been such a lifesaver for me because we have been extremely fortunate this whole time. I lost track, but I think this is number 4. It's not gonna kill me if it's more than that. We have been fortunate to have our kids in baseball. So, baseball, why am I saying baseball? I can't read comments and talk and cook. Look at all this multitasking, basketball. But I will make this pasta and it'll be done in 9 minutes. Rachel, it's so good to see you too. Nicolina, I loved getting your text yesterday. It was so nice. Or was that this morning? It was wonderful. Christy, oh, Marianne Miller. Oh my gosh, you guys are so sweet. All right, so I have in our microwave right now, pasta. I make pasta oftentimes on basketball nights. I'm coaching basketball. I need something fast. I can, get the kids off the bus and get prepped and do all that. Love the mac and cheese. You can do it with all sorts of stuff. Ham, sausage, lots of different things. All right, now the third thing I'm gonna make is guacamole. Anybody love guac? I love avocados. I love guacamole. I have a super big bowl there. It's actually not what I was gonna use, but I'll use it. Well, I need that for the pasta. All right, let's see what else I got. Here. Work. And so how many of you love guacamole? So this is another go-to for us. I just saw Sarah mention that she made some guacamole for the Super Bowl. I got a note from a number of people who also made some guacamole as an appetizer for the Super Bowl. I have pictures of friends' kids who will just scoop this out with huge amounts on top of chips. I'm gonna add a little bit of my lime, and then this is just 1 avocado, and the jar actually says 2 ripe avocados for 3 tablespoons of dip mix. And oh goodness, I really thought I was fully prepared for tonight. here is our 4-in-1 spoon. It goes right into the container, and I'm actually just gonna do, it said 3 tablespoons. I'm just gonna do 1. It's kind of a smaller avocado. And I have 2 meat mashers, and I actually use them all the time, and I used it tonight to mash up because I told you guys I made this chicken in the steamer. I put 3 chicken breasts in there, and then after it was like cooking for a few minutes, I pulled it out and I cut it. It was kind of hot, but it worked. And then I mashed it with this. And so I'm just gonna quickly rinse that off. It wasn't raw chicken, but still wanna rinse it off. And I'm just gonna use the meat masher. I really like to just mix it up. And this dish is actually perfect. It works in the bowls too. And then I also like to add onion. So raw to ready in less than 20 minutes. It's an entire dinner raw to ready in less than 20 minutes. And it's so awesome. Really has been a lifesaver for us. I mean, plus we're cooking so much more at home, and I did not grow up with any experience in the kitchen. And so I felt like when I became a mom, I needed to feed my kids healthier foods. And is anybody with me on this? Like, I'm like, how in the world can I feed my kids? You know, I was feeding them hot dogs 3 days a week, or I had my like same pasta dishes and all that. So it was just too unhealthy, and I was a college athlete, and I understood how easy it should be, but it just was not easy for me. And so now I just love that I can do all of this stuff and not worry about it or think about dinner. The other thing was, my kids, when they were babies, and some of you had your babies while I had my babies, and I remember us like talking about making our own baby food, and I was like, how do people do that? Well, now I have a better understanding because all I'm using are the spices and everything from Epicure, and I get it. So if you have little babies at home and you want to understand like how can you make your own stuff so that you're not buying all of this expensive and like full of junk food at the grocery store. All right, so here's my guac. We'll just take some chips and dump them in. So that was our guacamole seasoning. This comes in our Mexican meal kit. It comes with this, the Poco Picante, and also comes with the enchilada seasoning. The instructions are right on the back. These pouches are called meal solutions, and usually they come 3 to an order. So if you order just 1 order of this for, I think it's like $9.95, you're gonna get 3 of these. One suggestion I have is to look at the 3-week dinner collection and pair it with the multi-purpose steamer, which is cooking my pasta. Because you can get, in that 3-week dinner collection, you can get 15 different pouches to try. Another option is the wintry collection. Somebody help me out here, because I know some of you, the best of winter collection. I have my catalog right here. It's new, it was new last month. And so the 3 weeks of dinner I mentioned, the winter warm-up, that's another one that just looked amazing to me. It has the Nourish broth, the Greek dressing, herb and garlic. It's a really great collection of like the jars and the meal pouches. And then the 30-day meal solutions is also another great option, because when you look at an entire month done, like the meals are, you just go to the grocery store, or you can just do shipped. Order exactly what it says on your digital recipe and meal plan. Look at this if you want to just pull out. What we usually do is my husband and I will pull these out, and we'll say, let's do these 3 for lunch, and then we'll have leftovers. So one other thing we made today, which I made in the Instant Pot, and I actually think I should have done it in my multi-purpose steamer, but I made the home style chicken stew, and I put it, this is just leftovers, but I put it in with milk instead of water. I felt like I wanted, there was another one that was from last season and that used milk. And so it was awesome. But what I do with this is I add Italian sausage. So lots of really great options. My husband and I are both working from home. I was a teacher. A lot of you remember me when I was a teacher. It's been 2.5 years, which is so hard to believe it's been that long. Marianne, thank you so much for jumping in. I'll be in touch with you. So I was a teacher for 18 years. My husband and I decided to move to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and this is what I do now. So, and I am absolutely loving it. I love being able to be with my kids in the morning and after school and not have to be grading papers. And of course, with all of you teaching right now during this, and this is just crazy times. Like I just, my heart goes out to you, and you have all my support. I'm loving this, and I'm so glad to be able to be working with so many amazing families and to be able to help. The last thing I want to do with you guys tonight is to show you how I do my marinara sauce. So and I needed to do this because we are out of the marinara sauce. So I take a can of tomatoes, and then if some of you are like nervous about trying new spices, but you have some favorites like garlic and onion, we do have just regular garlic and onion that is not a blend. We also have awesome salt and pepper shakers. If you could feel them, they're kind of heavy, right? Like they're durable. That's glass. And I love that at the top it has a different grind so you can actually move it. And I'm gonna add a little bit of salt. I should have mentioned this before, but with Epicure's meals, we salt often. If it calls for soy sauce, I won't. The Italian sausage, I actually added salt today, and my husband said well, that's a first, because usually he's the one that wants to add the salt and I don't, but I love being in control over it. I'm gonna add the marinara sauce as well, marinara seasoning into my sauce. You guys will see in a second what I'm gonna do with this. I didn't measure it. I don't normally, but it says 1 28-ounce can of tomato sauce, and then diced and crushed tomatoes, and then 3 tablespoons of the sauce mix. So come on, Christy, get it together. See, anybody can do this. If you guys want to hear more about the business, let me know. I mean, everybody needs a side gig, get some money. All right, and you get to help a lot of really great people. All right, so now I'm gonna stir it. I'm gonna use the same one because I don't care that it has a little avocado on it. I'm gonna stir that, and I am gonna add some garlic because this is marinara sauce. And we'll use this, that was a lot. Oh well, it's good for you. We are going to use this when we make homemade pizzas too. And I'll show you guys one of my favorite things to do. All right, did you hear the pasta? Pasta's done. So we ate dinner. I already showed you guys what I made. So I made shredded chicken with some barbecue sauce, and we ate, oh gosh, like an hour and a half ago. So what I'm doing now is just showing you guys how I might prep for the following day. I'm gonna let this sit for just a minute just because I wanna showcase this for you, but it is done. All right, so this is so much fun. I don't know why, it's just so much fun. This is our perfect Petites Pan. Pretty flimsy. I think I just had an onion fall. Pretty flimsy, but I put the sheet pan underneath. We also have sheet pan liners if you don't wanna use the parchment paper and all that. So all I'm gonna do is actually pour this on top and not worry about it needing to go into this little perfect portion rectangles. And then because it's silicone on a silicone, this is a steel base, and then it's coated in silicone, it's perfect. It just kind of, you can spread it around. And I'm using this spatula, which is in our kitchen collection, and it is not sold separately right now, but they do sometimes have couple of specials where they sell them separately, and it might be a host special, I don't know. They did it around the holidays and they offered them for sale. And I need a little bit more. I forgot to scoop it out. And I'm okay with this because what I'm gonna do is put this in my freezer, and I am going to, why not just use up the sauce? I'm gonna make these into what would be like an ice cube. I have made these into ice cubes because my ice cube machine in my freezer is awful. In my fridge is awful. So I grab ice cubes out. I don't know what my deal is tonight. I'm having a hard time talking. Well, it's a good thing I had the extra thing of sauce. Usually the 28 ounces is fine. All right. And that's it. So I will actually show you in the comments after I'm done, and this is frozen. I'll show you how I pop these right out, and I put them into a gallon freezer bag. And then when I have just a little personal thing of pasta that I want for lunch, I'll just pop out a couple of these for my husband and I. Or if we're doing pizzas and we're doing individual pizzas, I know I only need a couple for per personal pan pizza. One of my biggest pet peeves, always, like I remember in college, like you'd go and you'd get the pasta sauce and it would be like all crusty around the rim and there would be mold on the top, and I don't have to deal with that anymore. So I'm actually putting this, it fits perfectly in my pull out base of my freezer. And that sounded really bad, but it wasn't. And now I can pull this out. Oops. It is a little bit flimsy. I know some of you tell me I should put a plate underneath it, but I never do. And I probably should. It's gonna bite me later. All right, you guys see all that steam? It was awesome. Okay, so I actually want to move my camera so that you guys can see me and see what I'm gonna do. This is one of my very favorite products. I'm gonna try and move this. Can you see my sink? Let's see. Oh, you can. That was perfect. This is called the roll-up rack. And I will show you the last couple of days I've made a few things and I'll showcase them for you. I made lettuce wraps. I laid my big lettuce leaves out here and I rinsed them, let them out, dry them out a little bit. The potato soup that I had today, I put potatoes on here, I rinsed them, I scrubbed them. Love this thing. Another thing I use is I use it for dishes that are dirty right now, but I'll take the dishes that are needing to drip dry and I'll set them on here. Actually, I just pulled this one out and I'll set them on here to dry. And what I'm gonna actually do, this is a product, is it in the, I think it's in the new catalog. It's a collapsible strainer, I love it. I'm gonna keep it open right now. And I'm just gonna strain. I don't have to hold the strainer and this at the same time. I'm just gonna strain it. Perfect, dump it right back in the steamer. And I'm actually not gonna put the mac and cheese in here now because I'm gonna prep this for tomorrow. And I like our mac and cheese fresh and creamy, and I put butter and a little bit of milk. I would say use less milk, but definitely if you're using our mac and cheese, do less than 2 cups of pasta. It says 2, but I've had people use an entire box of pasta and then tell me that the mac and cheese isn't very creamy. So just a little tip of what I've learned, but the pasta is awesome. It's done. I could also, sometimes I'll do this and I'll make like a, kind of like a mix of lasagna stuff, all kinds of like lasagna toppings. I'll spread cheese on this. You can actually make lasagna in this. Lasagna done in 17 minutes, 18 minutes, lid on. You can do bacon, you can do rice. I think I've mentioned those things. We do have a smaller steamer. It's not called the multi-purpose. The multi-purpose one is the big one. There's also a round steamer. The round steamer I think is still on back order, sold out right away. We have this one, which is what we use to make like bread loaves. We use this to make the meatloaf, the donair, vegetables, eggs. I also have the Omelette Maker. I mentioned all of you teachers that are out there if you want a quick omelet before you leave. Karen, you're on. You were the one that told me I should put a plate underneath my pasta. I almost lost it tonight, but I didn't. All right. Just remember too, we have desserts, so if you guys have a sweet tooth, there are some like gluten-free bread options. I don't typically go that route just because I don't need gluten-free. I think it's like pancake mix or pizza crust. I know they've had some things seasonal. But the brand new winter warm-up collection has become one of our favorites. The rotisserie chicken, the Thai coconut soup. I did not think I was gonna like that. It was really good. Lettuce wraps. I haven't tried the meatloaf yet, but I've seen people making meatballs out of that. The roll-up rack is on page 70. The wok should be back at the end of March. We've been waiting on that wok since August. I don't have it yet. I know some consultants have it, but we have Muffin Maker tins, like a lot of really great things, not tins, the silicone things. So I want to thank you guys so much for being with me tonight. And if any of you are interested in hosting, I can do something like this or something similar to this on Zoom. If you don't want to do it on Facebook, if you're interested in the business, I can send you guys business information. Every day is a good day to join. It's been such a great experience. Lots of positive, awesome people, just like you and me. So thank you guys so much for being here with us. I think I got it all. I got the guacamole, I got the salsa, the pasta, the leftover chicken, and I will show you what I do with my marinara sauce when it's all done. Thank you guys so much. You have a great night. Bye.